Welcome, everybody, to College Park, Maryland, inside the Xfinity Center, alongside Nick Polinsky and our Sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst. I'm Cam Crossett. This top 25 matchup in the Big Ten between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Maryland Terrapins brings us to this evening's matchup, where it's two standouts out of the Big Ten. One being in Iowa, coming off a big win against Michigan State, and on the other side for Maryland, a tough loss out in Los Angeles to UCLA. I'll turn it over to you, Nick. What are you looking for in this game today?
Yeah, this is going to be a big matchup in the paint for both teams. The Hawkeyes have Hannah Stalky and Ava Hayden inside. Stalky has 8 rebounds and 12 or more points in 7 of the last 8, and 8 or more rebounds in 5 of the last 6. She leads the entire Big Ten in rebounds per game. Then also Ava Hayden, a big presence in that paint. She shot over 80% from the field in 2 of these 7 conference games for the Hawkeyes this season. She's tied for 11th in the Big Ten in points per game, and she is 2nd in the Big Ten in field goal percentage. So Maryland has to have a good defensive presence in the paint today. I think we're going to see a lot more than usual of Ozzy Mamadou in for the Terrapins. It is going to be a battle in that painted area, and the winner of this game is likely to be decided near that basket.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Nick. And another thing Iowa's going to have to watch out for, Maryland has so many pieces. They have post players, deep players, and they're all explosive. We start off with Oluchi Okanawa, who came off of a 25-point performance against UCLA, and they lost 97-67 out there on Sunday. But all 5 of these starters for Maryland are explosive at any time, and that's what head coach from Iowa, Jan Jensen, in her 2nd season, was telling the media on Tuesday, that all of these players are explosive and they can get hot at any time, and Iowa's going to have to do a tremendous job at full court pressure on both sides of the ball. So the tip-off is just upon us here inside the Xfinity Center. We thank you all for joining us on WMUC Sports for this top 25 matchup. And the tip-off is upon us. Addie Mack with the possession for the Terps. She has it just near half court. She passed it over to Okanawa, who mishandled it momentarily. She spots up for a 3. First shot of the game is off. The Terps out and running for the rebound. Okanawa gets her own miss. She thinks about spotting up again. She throws it over to Garzone, but just over her head and out of play.
Maryland trying to work it inside early to Garzone, and Okanawa just sailed that pass a little bit too far.
Iowa with possession now. They have McCabe has it now for the Hawkeyes. Flips it out to Hayden. Back to McCabe, spots up for a 3. She drains it for her first points of the game. For the Hawkeyes is a deep 3 in the corner from Ava Hayden. As Garzone has it for the Terps. Garzone weaving around a Hawkeye defender, flips it out to Mack to her left. A nice pass to Okanawa, just couldn't connect with her as that ball goes out of play. Yeah,
we just saw McCabe hit that 3. Just 12 of her 135 field goal attempts on the season have come from 2. She is a sniper from outside, and somebody Maryland certainly has to watch on that perimeter.
Yes, exactly. And Stokey with the ball now for the Hawkeyes. She flips it over to Forbach. Oh, back to Stokey, out to McCabe near the logo, flips it out. Good pass to Hayden down low in the post, and Iowa has a quick 5-0 lead. Maryland has it now. Garzone over to Ozzy Mamadou, who puts it up. She's off. The foul called down low as Iowa will get possession. We do have a substitution checking into the game for the Terps. Will be number 8, Kendall Walker. Okanawa is fouled. She'll pick up her first. Iowa with possession. Hannah Stolke over to chit-chat right over to McCabe. McKay back to Stolke, stops up for a mid-range, doesn't make it. As Maryland would transition now. Walker out to Mamadou. Mamadou in the paint, weaves over Hayden, puts it up and puts it in. So Izzy Ozzy Mamadou, the first points of the game for the Terps. Cuts this deficit down to 3. As Forbach has it now for the Hawkeyes. She weaves past Mack, puts it up. She's fouled in the process. She will go to the line. It was a travel, actually the call on the court, so Maryland will get possession. As Mack has it. Mack passes midcourt. She's guarded by Wright. Mack, nice ball movement. Looking for Poffenbarger. There's a little too strong on that pass. The Terps will get it back. Walker with it now. Walker to the right, spins in the paint, puts it up. A little too strong. As Forbach has it for the Hawkeyes. Over to Wright. Wright, heavily guarded by Mack. Wright flips it out to Hayden. Hayden, mid-range jumper, is off. The Terps have it back. Mack's got it now. Mack, near the three-point line, weaves into the paint, finds Mamadou down low. She's got it. Good point by Mamadou. It was good vision by Mack to find her down low.
Yeah, they just left Ozzy Mamadou in the paint. Lapse there from the Hawkeye defense. Maryland now within 1.
As Stolke pushes past Poffenbarger right to the rack, and she puts it up and puts it in. Hannah Stolke is a 55% shooter from the floor. That's something, that's a player that Maryland has to look out for tonight. As transitioning back to the Terps, Walker puts it up and puts it in. 7-6 the score now for Iowa. As the Hawkeyes have it. Wright with possession. Wright guarded by Walker on the left side. Cross pass to Forbach, who spots up for a 3. He's off. As Stolke had a hand on it, but it went out of bounds. As the Terps will get possession. Substitution for the Terps entering the game will be Maria Boyko, the 6'4" freshman from Minsk, Belarus.
Maryland's had to rely on a lot of freshmen this year with all their injury woes. Addie Mack, Kendall Walker, and Maria Boyko have all played 15 or more minutes per game in Big Ten play. Not something you see every day coming from freshmen in this conference.
Maryland with possession now. Garzone spins in the paint, puts it up, puts it in. Nice floater for Garzone. And that gives Maryland the lead, 8-7. Iowa has it now. McCabe, guarded by Walker, tried to find Stolke down low, but it went off a leg of a Terp defender, and the whistle was blown. As Forbach in the corner to the left of the basket, she finds Hayden down low, and the miscommunication leads to a turnover, and the Terps are out and running. Walker to the rack, is fouled.
Good transition there from Maryland. A bit of an out-of-control shot on the offensive end for Iowa. The Terps pushed it quickly. Kendall Walker got to the rim, and she'll shoot 2.
Walker's first goes in. Takes this to a 9-7 early advantage for the Terps. Walker coming into this contest a 78% free throw shooter at the stripe. It's that one to go. A 10-7 lead for the Terps.
Walker stepped into a big role this year. As I mentioned, Maryland has been ravaged by injuries. Kayleen Schmeichel, Leah Barthelma, both down and out for the season. It's been a lot of Addie Mack and Kendall Walker.
Yeah, and as the Hawkeyes have possession now, Wright spots up for a deep three. She drains it. Chit-chat Wright with the three-pointer for the Hawkeyes, the smallest player on the court at just 5'4". As Terps have it now, battling down low into the basket is Mamadou and others. As the Hawkeyes come away with the turnover, Hayden gets in there. She weaves out of the corner, puts up a shot and puts it in. 12-10. As Hayden found Addie Deal down low to make this a 2-point contest. As another missed opportunity for the Terps leads to an Iowa turnover. As Forbach with possession for the Hawkeyes. Flips it out to Hannah Stolke near the paint. Finds Forbach to her right, who's guarded by Walker. Forbach over to Hayden with 5 on the shot clock, puts it in. It's a 4-point advantage for the Hawkeyes. The Terps out and running now, Addie Mack with possession. Mack weaves to her right. She finds Poffenbarger, who's guarded by a Hawkeye defender, as Mack comes up to help her out. She flips it out to Walker with spin move pass to Addie Mack. He spots up for the jumper. It's no good. As Iowa in transition now. As Stolke down low, all alone. She missed a wide open opportunity. As coming up with the rebound is Hayden, and she misses. Back to Stolke. Iowa trying to find a lane down low. Finally, Stolke's there all alone. Makes this a 6-point contest. Coach Freese doesn't like what she sees. She's going to call a timeout. And what do the Terps have to do to get back into this one, Nick?
Yeah, it's just what I was talking about in the pregame. Hannah Stolke, an offensive rebound, extended the possession. And then Iowa able to reset a trailer 3. They now lead 16-10, so Maryland needs to put a continued focus on the paint. They need to get some shots to start falling too. They're just 4 for 11 so far and 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. So Maryland in a bit of a shooting slump early, and Iowa's on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes.
Yes, they have to get Addie Mack going and Sailor Poffenbarger. You know, they both, you know, Mack 0 for 2 and Poffenbarger 0 for 1 so far. So when I listening to a press conference on Tuesday with Jen Jansen, the Iowa head coach, she talked about how the Hawkeyes can't let Okonawa get going, as she's, in her eyes, the most explosive player on the court. But Maryland has such a deep starting 5 that Coach Jensen believes that they have to limit all of their explosive plays, and that's something that Iowa so far has done a good job.
Okonawa in that starting lineup early, picked up an early foul in those first 2 minutes. She went to the bench. We haven't seen her back since. It'll be interesting to see if she comes back in out of the timeout to try and spark some offense for the Terps. It's been just 3 scores so far. Ozzy Mamadou has 4, Kendall Walker has 4, and Yarden Garzone has 2 of her own.
Her 17-year career has been spectacular.
I'm Chris Weller, and I have Maryland pride.
The winningest head coach in Maryland basketball history.
I'm Brenda Freeze, and I have Maryland pride.
I'm Christy Ranger-Scott, and I have Maryland pride. Hi, I'm Vicky Lewis, and I have Maryland pride.
Pete Jones, it's good.
I'm Brianna Jones, and I have Maryland pride. Crystal Langborn, and I have Maryland pride.
I'm Tyler Charles,
Maryland with possession, trailing by 6. Garzone with possession for the Terps finds Poffenbarger in the corner. Now put it out to Mamadou. She was falling down, puts up the shot, no good. As Iowa in transition now. Spotting up for a 3 is Addie Deal, who's off. Maryland has it now. Okonawa flips it out to Walker. Back to Okonawa, who's guarded by Wright. Okonawa weaves past Wright, cross pass to Garzone for 3. She's off. As Hawkeyes get possession. Wright, guarded by Okonawa. Wright weaves past Okonawa, spots up for a mid-range jumper. She's off as Mamadou comes down with the rebound. Over to Okonawa. Okonawa goes right to the rack. Could not finish it, though, as Iowa read it well. As Wright tried to go behind the back pass. No avail, as Okonawa is guarding her well. Over to Stolke down low. Stolke weaves past Mack, spins, puts it out to McCabe for a mid-range. She's off. Excuse me, that was Addie Deal who put up that shot. It was no good. As Maryland has it now. Garzone out to Mamadou in the paint, guarded by 2 Hawkeye defenders. The whistle's blown as Iowa will come down with the possession arrow. Layla Hayes now in for the Hawkeyes. Wears the number 12. Wright has possession for the Hawkeyes. Guarded by Walker. Wright has Stolke to her left, who set the screen. Down low to Hayes. And it's blocked at the last moment by Mamadou. As Poffenbarger has it. Poffenbarger to her right in the corner. Puts up the shot, goes in. Kendall Walker now up to 6 points, the leading scorer so far for the Terps.
Good ball movement there by Poffenbarger to find the open Walker. Another mid-range shot for the Terps, but Walker once again able to find it in the bottom of the net.
Wright with possession for the Hawkeyes. Guarded by Walker. Coming over to help out is Hayes. Finds Stolke. Shot clock at 2.5. Stolke puts it up. Doesn't go. Poffenbarger with the rebound, trying to find Garzone. As Maryland will remain with possession. As Walker has it now. Running past midcourt. Spots up a deep 3 at the buzzer. As she's off, as Maryland will head to the second quarter, trailing by 4, 16-12. What do the Terps need to do to get back into this one, Nick?
Yeah, the Terps need to get some shots to start falling. They're just 1 for their last 9 from the field, 5 for 16 on the game, and 0 for 4 from 3. No shots have fallen yet from beyond the arc. Iowa not shooting at a great pace either. They're 1 of their last 8 from the field, haven't scored in almost 3 minutes of game time. So both offenses kind of dragging to the finish of quarter number 1. We'll see if things turn around in quarter number 2. Both teams rank in the top 7 in the Big Ten in points per game. So kind of an uncharacteristic start for both teams.
Well, we'll throw it down to our sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst, who has more.
Thanks, guys. We're in for an exciting game with 2 top 25 teams in the Xfinity Center today. Iowa was able to get on the board first this quarter with a 3 followed by a layup, but the Terps quickly responded with 2 layups of their own, both by Ozzy Mamadou. The Terps took the lead at the halfway mark but lost it soon after, heading into the last 3 minutes down by 6. We saw some 3-point action from the Hawkeyes this quarter, something the Terps need to be aware of and cautious about. Both teams stayed neck and neck, going back and forth with baskets, but ultimately led to a 16-12 Hawkeye lead. Hopefully the Terps are ready to bounce back heading into this second quarter. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. Headed into quarter number 2. The Hawkeyes lead 16-10. Hannah Stalky's been leading that charge for Iowa on both ends of the floor. She's got 4 points and 4 rebounds, 2 of which have been offensive, causing some trouble in the paint early for the Terps. Ozzy Mamadou has 4 of her own. So the 2 bigs for each team kind of going back and forth. That'll continue to be a matchup to watch throughout the game, but the Maryland guard play needs to step up here in quarter number 2.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, most of the guards so far in this game at least don't have a point. And one being Sailor Poffenbarger, who coming off the game against UCLA had a 15-point outing. And she has been limited to 0 points so far in the first quarter. That is unlike her style of play, so she hopes to get some scoring going.
Oluchi Okana was still scoreless through 4 minutes. She just recently reached her 1,000th point, as well as her 500th rebound. She possesses now just outside the 3-point line. Poffenbarger in the left wing will get an off-ball foul. Maryland will take it in baseline underneath. Foul will get tagged on Layla Hayes, the Hawkeye freshman. Garzone inbounds Ozzy Mamadou. Inside with the left hand, gets the foul. Cannot complete the basket, but she'll go to the line for 2. Ozzy Mamadou, not a great free throw shooter. She's just 48.6% from the line on the season. The redshirt junior from London, England. Spent 2 seasons at Gulf Coast State, where she averaged nearly 17 and 12. She makes the first free throw. So Ozzy Mamadou, sub 50% free throw shooter, sinks both, and Maryland is back within 2 points. They'll ramp up the half-court pressure. Stalky finds McCabe on the far corner, who drills a 3.
Yeah, that was a good look there by McCabe, but she found herself all alone in the corner.
Walker finds Ozzy Mamadou outside the 3-point line, hands off to Okanawa. Okanawa looking for a first point. She gets tied up. The ball will squirt loose and go out of bounds. Maryland will retain possession underneath. Garzone to inbound. Into Poffenbarger. Guarded by Stalky. Right back to Garzone. Garzone puts up the right-handed layup, and it's good.
That was a good finish there by Garzone.
Hawkeyes moving quickly. Chit-chat right on the right wing. Inside to Hayden. She's taken a few mid-range shots this game, opts not to. Out to McCabe for another 3, no good. Garzone the long rebound, and now Maryland pushing the pace. Okanawa will back it off, and Poffenbarger's trailer 3 is off the mark, just to the left. Rebound snatched down by Ava Hayden, and now Hawkeyes moving with some numbers. McCabe, guarded by Okanawa, finds Feuerbach. The Hawkeyes leader in steals from a year ago. Feuerbach scanning and finding Chit-Chat right. And a little touch foul on Kendall Walker will stop play. Chit-Chat right, the Georgia Tech transfer, appeared in all 33 games last season for the Yellow Jackets. She's second in the Big Ten in 3-point percentage. And McCabe tied for 4th in the Big Ten in 3-pointers made per game. So 2 players for the Hawkeyes who can shoot it very well. And then you add in Hayden and Stalky, you can very easily see why this team is currently ranked number 10 in the AP poll. Haven't been ranked this high since the final poll during Caitlin Clark's senior year, but the Hawkeyes back in the AP top 10. Hayden now off the inbounds. Out to Chit-Chat right. Right scanning, finding McCabe. McCabe back to right, 5 on the shot clock. Right, working inside, out to McCabe, and she traveled before she could sidestep Addie Mack. Maryland within 3, it's 19-16, 8:16 to go in quarter number 2. Once again, Nick Polinsky joined by Cam Crossett and Aubrey Wurst on the sidelines. Kendall Walker now controlling the offense for the Terps. Gives it off to Poffenbarger, scanning inside for Garzone, didn't have it. And now back to Walker on the left wing. Walker finds Ozzy Mamadou another paint touch. Mamadou backing down Hayden, and the layup too strong. Hayden snatches down the rebound. Right now, up to McCabe. McCabe finds Stremlow from straight away. Stremlow settles in the mid-range and a pretty two-point basket for Taylor Stremlow.
Yeah, Iowa has so many pieces that Maryland is trying to figure them out early, and so far they've done an okay job.
Poffenbarger. Ozzy Mamadou just outside the paint. A handoff in a mid-range from Kendall Walker is no good. Rebound, Iowa. And now Taylor Stremlow on the far wing. She'll swing it all the way to the near corner, and Chit-Chat Wright leaves it off inside. And now the Hawkeyes will settle back outside. Hayden with the handoff to Taylor Stremlow, who shoots a three. Leaves it short, rebound Ozzy Mamadou. Addie Mack now speeding it up a little bit, and not on the same page as Sailor Poffenbarger. She tosses one out of bounds toward the scorer's table.
Yeah, Maryland currently in a 2.5 minute scoring drought. That has not liked them. And a couple turnovers off of miscommunication by the Terps, and that's something that they kind of stemmed from the UCLA game that they hope to get rid of, but we'll see how they can get better at their communication down the stretch here.
Yeah, Maryland just back from that West Coast trip. The jumper from Journey Houston is no good, and Maryland rebounds. Poffenbarger hits Walker. Now back out to Poffenbarger. Her three off the mark. The Terps still yet to find one fall from three-point range. McCabe pump fakes a long three, and now she'll find Stremlow up top. Stremlow working on Garzone. And now Stalky just outside of the paint. Stalky, the near corner for McCabe, who is good once again. She is 3 for 4 from three today. She's got 9. Leading scorer for the Hawkeyes. O'Connell now looks to respond. Her mid-range jumper is short, gets her own rebound, finds Boyko inside the wide open layup.
It's a good pass by O'Connell.
Boyko, another one of those impact freshmen. Chit-Chat Wright in the corner, leaves it for Stalky. The dribble handoff, back to Wright, and she drills a three. Iowa red hot from three to open it up. They're 5 for 9 so far. Terps looking to find a long-range shot of their own.
These threes from the Hawkeyes are just wearing the Terps out, and that's something they have to avoid down the stretch here.
Garzone looked for a look for three, didn't have it. Now Boyko inside, stripped by Stalky, gets it back, and she traveled.
Returning from Maryland, number 10, McLean. And returning for the Hawkeyes, number 4, Riley Fearball.
5:18 left in quarter number 2. It's 27-18 Hawkeyes. And Iowa now with possession. Maryland looking to avoid going down double digits here midway through the second quarter. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Iowa. Kylie Fearbach will be the Hawkeye to inbound. She gets it into Taylor Stremlow, guarded closely by Addie Mack. Leaves it off for Journey Houston, who gets it back to Stremlow. Stremlow's been a big piece off that bench for the Hawkeyes. Active here with Stalky. Down the near corner, Fearbach. 4 on the shot clock. Inside to Stalky, guarded by Garzone. Spins, and with the left hand, she's no good. A rebound by Maria Boyko.
That's what Maryland needs to start doing more often.
Garzone straightaway three off the mark. And we'll get a foul underneath on the rebound attempt. Mir McLean drew the foul. And we will hit the under 5 media timeout here in quarter number 2. Maryland struggling from the field early. They're 7 for 24 and 0 for 7 from 3. Iowa, on the other hand, 11 for 26 and 5 for 9 from 3. It's been a tale of two offenses so far.
Yeah, and that previous Maryland possession, or excuse me, that previous Iowa possession, what I liked most is that Maryland defense, especially in the post area down low, they did a great job at handling Stolke underneath the basket, and that's something that Coach Freeze spoke about in her press conference yesterday, and she hopes that her team understands what Stolke can do in the paint, and they're showing right there that, you know, they indeed understand, and we'll see if they can have a couple more of those possessions down the stretch. But so far, Iowa is just hurting the Terps with their deep three. You know, McCabe, 3 for 4 so far beyond the arc, and that is something the Terps have to avoid, especially in the rest of the second quarter, but especially in the second half. And if the Terps want to come out on top today, they have to stop the deep three. And so far, they did an okay job of guarding Stolke, but the other job is stopping the deep three, and that's something they got to figure it out.
We'll take a short break here on WMUC Sports with the Hawkeyes leading 27-18 over the home Maryland Terrapins. Back here in the second quarter with the Terrapins trailing 9, 4:40 left in quarter number 2. Maryland will possess. Big possession here out of the break. Maryland trying to get back within 6 points. Mack swings it over to Okonawa. Okonawa, an offensive foul.
Okonawa she's just charging a little too hard there. She's got to be careful, especially she had a chance for a deep three there. She could have hit if she wanted to, but fortunately too much on the charge.
That'll give the Hawkeyes now a chance in response to go up double figures. Chit Chat right up top, guarded closely by Addie Mack. She swings it over to Addie Deal. Deal guarded by Mir McLean. Deal guarded closely, ball knocked around, and now found outside for Chit Chat right, who rims out a three-pointer. Ball tipped out of bounds. It'll go to the Terrapins. Maryland just one of their last 7 from the field. Looking to get right back home. Unable to do so far. Mario Boyko on the perimeter, scanning, finding a cutting Poffenbarger, who crosses through underneath the baseline. Her fadeaway two is no good. Rebound by Boyko. A second chance for the Terps. Underneath, and the easy two-pointer for Mir McLean. A good rebound and find from Mario Boyko, and now Iowa moving quickly to the other end. Chit Chat right. Will dribble and find Hayden in the mid-range. Hayden working inside on Boyko, just shovels it up with the left hand. And that was too easy for Hayden. Garzone goes cross-court to Boyko. And Boyko traveled once again. Her second traveling turnover in the second quarter. Maryland just hasn't been great with the ball so far. And now Iowa up 29-20 on the offensive end. Chit Chat right commanding, and now slides to the left wing. Another paint touch for Stalky. Stalky, charge. Poffenbarger set her feet, and Stalky led with that left shoulder and forearm. And after Maryland committed an offensive foul with Okonawa just a few minutes ago, Stalky does so right in return.
Yeah, the Terps have to get it going offensively. They're, making a lot of key errors offensively, which leads to this early 9-point advantage by the Hawkeyes.
Addie Mack working inside, looking to get that left hand. No good. Deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Terrapins. Maryland now just 8 of 27 from the field today. Kendall Walker back in for Mir McLean. Poffenbarger now. Inside to Garzone. Shot clock taking down to 6. Garzone, an offensive foul. Maryland's 8th turnover of the game so far.
That's our first personal, 3rd team foul.
Tried to spin and take a jump shot, but once again led with that off shoulder. Chit Chat right now. An open mid-range is no good. Ozzy Mamadou pulls down the rebound, and Mack looks to push. Poffenbarger guarded closely and now ditches it inside to Garzone. Garzone spinning. The mid-range fadeaway is good.
Yeah, that was a good look there by Garzone. She finished it off. But
Ozzy Mamadou hits the deck inside, which leads to a layup chance for Hayden, but good help defense from Poffenbarger to prevent it from going. Addie Mack now moving quickly the other way. She'll kick it out to Poffenbarger. Extra pass to Garzone, a right wing 3. It's good!
the Terps,
Maryland finally hits nylon from beyond the arc, and they're back within 4. It's 29-25.
the Terps have found their footing. They got it rolling right now.
Chit Chat right now. Straight away for the Hawkeyes. Screen set by Hayden. She gets the switch. Chit Chat right. Takes the mid-range jumper, no good. Stalky offensive rebound. Leaves it off for Hayden, a second chance, and it's good. A dangerous pass from Garzone cross court. And Maryland a bit lucky to foul on the other end right before the Hawkeyes hit an outlet pass to a wide open Chit Chat right. But Poffenbarger just came through the back of Hannah Stalky and drew some contact in the backcourt. Nothing intentional, but it prevented a breakaway chance for the Hawkeyes. And instead, though, inbound from the backcourt, and Chit Chat right works it up quickly to Ava Hayden. Hayden finding right in the mid-range. Guarded closely by Kendall Walker. Stalky just beyond the free throw line. Dumps it off for Ava Hayden, who working on Ozzy Mamadou once again. Puts it up and good with that left hand. Just been punch, counter punch so far, with neither team really able to pull too far away. Garzone inside. A dangerous pass and a nice snag by Chit Chat right to intercept it. Right. Feuerbach in the far corner. Inside to Stalky, who's blocked by Ozzy Mamadou. The Hawkeyes will set up underneath with 34.2 left on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's a very good matchup down low with Stalky against Mamadou there, but that time Mamadou put up her left hand for the block.
We'll get an illegal screen on the inbound pass, so possession right back to Maryland. They'll tag the foul on Ava Hayden.
That's her first personal, 15 foul.
Walker will bring it up the court. The redshirt freshman, she took a medical red shirt last season. Was the number 45 recruit in her class, according to ESPN. She'll dribble the air out of the ball up top, looking to get the last shot for the Terrapins. Walker dancing, working inside, the right hand too strong. Ozzy Mamadou, the backside rebound, puts it back up and it's good. Iowa's got to hurry if they want to get a shot off. 3 now on the clock. Chit Chat right from beyond half court. It's no good. So we hit halftime. The number 10 Hawkeyes lead the number 15 Terrapins 33-27 on the road, but Maryland started to look a bit more formidable in the offensive end to close out that second quarter.
Yes, if you're Brenda Freeze, you have to be very happy with how the Terps responded late in that second quarter, having those very late. Well, first off, that long deep three from Yarden Garzone, but those very late shots, especially at the horn by Ozzy Mamadou, just cutting this down to a 5-point Hawkeye advantage as the Hawkeyes will head into the locker room at half, 33-27. We set it down to our sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst, who has more on that second quarter.
Thanks, Cam. The quarter started off strong for both teams with 2 points from the Terps, quickly followed by another 3-pointer from the Hawkeyes. You can really see the passion between these two teams this game. Both are working to manufacture as many points as possible while keeping the foul count somewhat low. Halfway through the quarter, the Terps sat down by 9, something that is very unusual for this team. But the Hawkeyes kept pounding with the 3-pointers, and the Terps continue to take shots, but unfortunately are having more missed shots than usual, something Maryland needs to get sorted out before the third. At the minute 30 mark, the Terps came up with a clutch 3 to narrow the point gap, but the Hawkeyes responded quickly, and we head into the half with a score of Iowa 33, Maryland 27. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. A top 15 matchup in the Big Ten, and Iowa will lead it at the half, 33-27. We'll take a halftime break and be back for quarter number 3 on WMUC Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Xfinity Center alongside Nick Polinsky. I'm Cam Crossett, our sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst. Terps trailing 33-27 to start the third quarter. They had an okay second quarter, but a fairly rough first quarter. Maryland had 10 turnovers in that first half altogether, and that's something that they're going to have to eliminate if they want to get out on top here at the end of this ball game against a very tough Hawkeye team. Hawkeyes come into this one number 10 in the nation. They are 7-0 in conference, and that's something that Coach Freeze and her team, especially in the second half, have to focus on, and they have to find a way to stop Stolke down low.
Yeah, Maryland, as you mentioned, has struggled to take care of the ball, and they've struggled to shoot it as well. Fortunately, Iowa not far behind them. Maryland's 11 for 31 from the field. Iowa's 14 for 34. The big difference, Iowa's shot 50% from beyond the arc, while Maryland just a shade under 13%.
Well, the second half tip-off is underway as McCabe has it for the Hawkeyes. Pass it out to Stolke, over to Wright, back to Forbach. Forbach heavily guarded by Garzone. That goes off Garzone's left knee, out of play. Will maintain possession. Forbach. Guarded by Garzone. Feuerbach, excuse me. Pass it out to Wright for a deep three. She's got it. Chit-chat Wright. Extends the lead to 36-27. That's Wright now with 9 points. Poffenbarger's got it. Out to Walker, who has Garzone in the corner, flips it out to Okanema in the corner to the right of the basket. She's off.
Okanema's just been off today. 0 for 4 now from the field. Has left a few shots short.
Gets it to go. 38-29, our score.
Big response for the Terps. Have not fallen down by more than 11 this game. They've kind of stuck around that 7 to 11 point trailing mark. Now a turnover here and a chance.
As Garzone's pass there was blocked, but she got it back as Okanema's got it now. Out to Mamadou in the paint, guarded by Stolke. Over to Mack. Mack, a side pass to Okanema. Okanema down low is guarded by McCabe. There's a tie up underneath the basket. As the possession arrow will favor the Terps. Foul will be on Taylor Stremlow, number 1 for the Hawkeyes. Mamadou's got it. Mamadou, shot clock at 6, spins in the paint. Mamadou with the left hand, she's off. As going for the rebound was Okanema. As that will result in an Iowa foul by Chit-Chat Wright. That's Wright's second.
I'm not sure that foul could be on the floor. Okanema was in the air going up for the rebound, and she was undercut while putting it back, and yeah, they'll put her to the line for 2 shots.
This is what the Terps need. More points as they look to a cusp 30. Okanawa, her first is good. Her second is off. Okanawa tries to clean up her own miss. She gets the rebound. Okanawa out to Walker. Spots up for a mid-range jumper. She's got it. That's a good play by Kendall Walker. It was a nice vision there by Okanawa as well as she found the lane to pass to Walker for that easy 2-point.
Maryland struggled from 3 today, but they find a way to get a non-traditional 3 on that possession.
As Hyken spots up for a 3 of her own. She's off to the left. Okanawa has it now. Okanawa running to 4 Iowa defenders, puts up the shot, cleaning up the rebound is Ozzy Mamadou. Mamadou now with 12 points. Coach Jensen doesn't like what she sees. She's going to call a timeout on the side for Iowa as they now just have a 4-point lead. 38-34, the Hawkeyes have the advantage.
Maryland with a big 7-0 run over the last minute 30. Getting some shots to fall in the paint. Still struggling from outside, but more active in the paint. They've been going right at Stalky and Hayden underneath, and it's been working so far. As you mentioned, back within a 4-point deficit, 38-34, and Maryland looking to keep the momentum going.
All right, Terps fans, it's time to reach down inside that bag of all of yours and pull out that CQ card. Let me see what you're working with. And not only if you pull it out and let the camera find you, but inside that Merlin prize bag for today's winner is a $200 Visa gift card. So let me see your CQ card. There we go. I see one. There you go. You waving like something on it. I know that's right. There you go. The loyalty. We love the loyalty. We love the loyalty. Wave it. Wave it. There you go. Yes. We see you. Thank you for the loyalty. There you go. You know you loyal. We know you loyal. I love it. I love this song. Matter of fact, you're the winner. Congratulations. A Merlin prize bag and a $200 Visa card is over for you. Courtesy of CQ.
As we're back from out of that timeout, Terps trail by 4. Welcome back to College Park alongside Nick Polinsky. I'm Cam Crossett. Aubrey Wurst is down on the sideline for us. Terps inching their way to tying this game up. They once came out of the halftime break trailing by 9. Is that 7-0 run by the Terps. Something they got to keep going. As Hawkeyes have possession now, Feuerbach. But Feuerbach's got it. Out to Stolke, back to Feuerbach. Mid-range is off. Terps good defending there. As the whistle's blown, this is a say that. A foul called down low. Ozzy Mamadou comes up with the foul. As the Hawkeyes have possession. And Feuerbach had it as the whistle's blown. Yarden Garzone picks up the foul. Her second foul. Hayden has it for the Hawkeyes. Feuerbach back to Hayden in the paint. Hayden spins around Mamadou for the easy 2. Walker's got it. Out to Garzone. Garzone over to Okanawa. puts it up, does not go. The whistle's blown underneath the basket. As Maryland will get possession as Hayden fouled for the Hawkeyes. In the corner, it's Yarded Garzone for the three-pointer to cut this lead to 3 points. Iowa with the three-point advantage on the other end. Hannah Stuelke gets a shot of her own as Hawkeyes now have a 5-point advantage, 42-37. As there was a foul down low that on Sailor Poffenbarger, so Stuelke will head to the line, shoot two. Excuse me, shoot just one, as Stuelke made the basket in that previous possession. Looking for a three-point play here.
Brenda Fries not happy with Poffenbarger there. She called her over, and Fries gave Poffenbarger a peace of mind. Was not happy with something that Poffenbarger had done, likely right there on that defensive possession, as she was the one who fouled.
So Kanawa has possession now for the Terps. Stuelke missed her third free throw, so it remains a 42-37 game as Walker has possession for the Terps, puts up the shot to no avail as Hayden comes down with the rebound, heavily guarded by Okanama and Garzone. As a tie up underneath the basket leads to a Iowa possession. Hannah Stuelke will inbound. Kearney Houston will enter now for the Hawkeyes. Where's number 8? Houston, a 6-foot freshman out of Davenport, Iowa. As missing the shot on the other end of the Hawkeyes as Maryland's back out and running. Okanawa with possession. She finds Walker. Walker guarded by Wright. Cross pass to Poffenbarger. She comes down with it. Poffenbarger over to Okanawa, who travels. They had a lane there, but Okanawa took one too many steps.
Poffenbarger had Okanawa on the cut there too, but just shuffled her feet right before she could get it off. Maryland with yet another costly turnover now. They have 11 on the game compared to just 5 for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Both shooting marks for the Terps are below the Hawkeyes in terms of field goal percentage and three-point percentage, yet Maryland's still trailing just 5, so they've gotten beaten in nearly every aspect, but they are still somehow hanging in there.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why they're still hanging on there is Ozzy Mamadou and Yarden Garzone's each have 12 points, respectively. And Garzone, at the late stages of that first half, had that long three-pointer, which so far has been the real difference maker in this game. And Maryland, they just have to find a way to get a couple shots made and play good defense as they're doing a good job at guarding Stuelke and others, especially down low in that post area.
Said before the game, it's likely to be a lot more of Ozzy Mamadou coming into this one. She's played 18 minutes so far, averaging 18.4 per game over the span of the season, so it'll be more Ozzy Mamadou today against number 3 UCLA. Last time out, played 18 minutes against USC, 27 minutes in the game before, 15 minutes against Ohio State. So a bigger lineup for the Hawkeyes is led for the Terps to respond with a bigger lineup of themselves, and that means Ozzy Mamadou playing a bit more than she typically would, and we've seen just that today.
Good to see Ozzy Mamadou to get the much-needed points. She's had a decent season overall, but, you know, she's doing a lot more than she usually does, scoring the basket. And so far, it's working out well for the Terps, as they do trail here, but they're finding the Hawkeyes out. They just have to get a few more pieces together, and they'll get it. Trail by 5 coming out of the timeout, 42-37. Nick Polinsky, Cam Crossett with you. Hawkeyes have possession. Chit Chat Wright has it now for the Hawkeyes. Addie Deal checks into the game. Was looking for Fairbach, and miscommunication on the Hawkeyes leads to a turnover. The Terps will get another opportunity. Walker over to Okonowa. Back to Mamadou. Over to Garzone, who's beyond the arc. Goes towards the paint, guarded by Stolke. Garzone gives her a shoulder, is off. As Garzone had a good look, but she was falling down as that shot went off.
Now Maryland's going to move into a press defense. They'll leave the inbounder unguarded, but Okonowa picking up Feuerbach in the backcourt.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. Trailing, only by 5, you want to see them play really good defense, and that's what they're doing. What they're showing, at least against against Iowa. As Feuerbach puts it up, that doesn't go. Foul down low. Away from the ball. Yarden Garzone.
It was a good box out by Stolke there. And now Maryland, with 5 fouls in the quarter, puts them in the bonus as Stolke makes free throw number 1. Just a 53.5% free throw shooter in the year.
If Stolke makes them both, lead now 44-37 Hawkeyes. Addie Mack with possession for the Terps. Mack guarded by Wright, beyond the arc. Goes to her right, finds Garzone. Calling for it is Okonowa, all alone. Coming closer to his Feuerbach. As a push-off is called by the referee on Okonowa. And the fans inside the Xfinity Center are not in agreement with the call.
And I'll say I didn't really like that one either. It looked like it should have been maybe a blocking foul on Kylie Feuerbach or a no call. I guess looking at the replay, Okonowa kind of leans in with that right shoulder, but that one much less decisive than a few of the earlier offensive fouls. That one truly could have gone either way.
Wright with possession for the Hawkeyes. Finds Hayden down low near the painted area. Hayden still with possession, finds Feuerbach. Was looking for Addie Deal. Is stolen away by the Terps as Mack picks it up. Shot goes up, does not go in as Hawkeyes on transition now. Feuerbach over to Wright. Wright spots up for a 3. She's off. Terps have it. Mamadou with the rebound. As Mamadou is coming up slowly as she falls to the court, and Mamadou's in some pain. She's grabbing at her left knee. That is not good on the Terp side of things, as they do not want to see yet another player go down. As training staff comes out to take a look at Mamadou, we will step aside here on WMUC Sports. Keep it right here. Welcome back to College Park. The injury timeout is over as the Terps are back to playing. Okanama with possession. Over to Garzone. Garzone rattles around. Goes out of bounds. It was a good look there by Garzone.
A nice draw up by Brenda Fries out of the injury timeout. Got Garzone open for a mid-range two-point jumper, but that's been Garzone's shot today. She couldn't get it to fall.
Fierbach with possession near midcourt, guarded by Garzone. Over to right, to her left. She finds Hayden down low. Back to right. Foul called.
Hayden just started sliding out of her screen early. An offensive foul there. Maryland needs a bucket here, trailing by 7.
Walker has it over to Poffenbarger. To Walker. Walker spins around Hayden. Over to Maria Boyko. Down low and foul call.
Boyko traveled for a 3rd time today.
Excuse me, that was a travel as Maria Boyko took too many steps there. The Hawkeyes have it now. Stolke out to Stremlow, who was looking for a Hayden down low as that pass was not made cleanly as that ball goes out of bounds as Garzone has it for the Terps. Over to Maria Boyko, who spots up for a 3. Rims out. Okanama with the miss, or excuse me, with the rebound. Boyko goes up. She is fouled as she will head to the line. Hayden, it's her 4th personal.
Boyko tried a 3 there, and just her 2nd attempt of the year from beyond the arc.
As Boyko, Terp's best free throw shooter, now 13 for 13 on the season. Make it 14 for 14 as Boyko hits both. 44-39 to score. Iowa out in front. A little less than 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Wright has it. Wright spins in the paint. Out to McCabe. McCabe, good press by the Terps. McCabe spots up for a 3. She's off as Iowa comes down with it. Settling things down. Wright with possession for the Hawkeyes. Wright was trying to find Stolke down low. It was tipped at the last second by Maria Boyko. As Ozzy Mamadou checks back into the game as this crowd erupts. As Stremlow with possession for the Hawkeyes. A minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Stremlow. Pass it off to Houston. Puts it up, puts it in.
Maryland played great defense there for that first possession. Iowa got an offensive rebound, stole it away. Boyko traveled, and then when you give Iowa 3 possessions back to back to back, they're bound to score by that 3rd one, and Maryland just continues to make mistakes that hurt them.
Okanama, the long pass to Walker. Poffenbarger picked it up. Poffenbarger with 5 on the shot clock. maneuvering in the paint, puts up the shot, does not go. Okanawa with the miss. The foul was called. Foul called on Mamadou.
Returning for Iowa, number 4, Kylie
Fearbach substituting in
at the line
for the Hawkeyes.
Hannah
Stolke at the line.
shooting 2.
Stolke comes into this free throw attempt with 10 points. The second one is off. She was 0 for 2 that time. Iowa gets their own rebound and puts it in. Hannah Stolke that time. Now with 12 points. Excuse me, that was Journey Houston who picked up the rebound there. The Terps have it back. Mamadou as she's falling down. And that's how the third quarter will end with a Hawkeye 48-39 advantage.
A tough close to quarter number 3 for the Terps. Got back within 4 at one point, but just self-inflicted wounds time and time again. Iowa now with 14 offensive rebounds on the day to Maryland's 8 on their offensive end. And it has continued to get beat in the paint.
Low scoring contest so far, but we'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst, who has more.
Thanks, Cam. Coming off the half, the Hawkeyes started off the quarter with a 3 in the first minute, followed by a quick layup, leaving the Terps trailing by 11 after only a minute and a half. We were seeing a lot of good defense from Iowa at the start of this quarter, doing whatever they can to keep the points low for the Terps. The Terps have been fighting to keep this game close by doing a good job of responding to Hawkeye baskets. Going into the 6th minute, the Terps closed the gap and were only trailing by 4 points, followed by a Garzone 3-pointer, which gave her 12 points on the day. Addressing the injury at the 3rd minute, Mamadou jumped up at the basket, and when she landed, she showed pain in her left knee, which she's already wearing a brace on. Athletic staff helped her off the court, and within a few minutes, she was on the stationary bike behind the Terps bench. At the 1 minute, Mamadou was back on the court. At the end of this quarter, the Terps trailed the Hawkeyes closely, making for a continuously exciting game here in Xfinity. Heading into the 4th, our score stands at Iowa 48, Maryland 39. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. Maryland trails by 9. They're 0 for their last 8 from the field, 1 for their last 10, and have not made a field goal in the last 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Nearly the last 6 minutes of quarter number 3, they went without a basket. They are going to need to up the offensive output in quarter number 4 to make a comeback here and buckle down. We are in for what should line up to be an interesting finish. Iowa's won every quarter so far. Outscored Maryland by 4 in quarter number 1, 2 in quarter number 2, and 3 in quarter number 3. Maryland is going to need to flip the numbers upside down to spark a comeback here in this 4th quarter. Maryland's largest run was a 7-0 run. They'll need something like that to start this 4th quarter to get momentum going. They will have possession to start quarter number 4 as the inbound goes to Walker. Walker gets it to Poffenbarger, who's still scoreless on the day. Garzone chalks up a left wing 3 and it rims out. Ozzy Mamadou the offensive rebound. Mamadou looking for the reset. She'll get it all the way out to Kendall Walker. Off the Poffenbarger screen. Kendall Walker driving the foul and 1.
Good finish there by Walker. She read the defense well, went right to the rack and gets the N1 opportunity.
Walker has stepped up big time today. She's been huge for the Terps. Just 11 points during the 2-game road trip against UCLA and USC. Hasn't scored in double figures since December 10th against Central Connecticut State. And today, she's got 11. Maryland now ramping up that backcourt pressure. Gets it across to Kylie Fierbach. Fierbach, the left hand on their zone. Now to Stalky. She'll scan and over the head of Fierbach and out of bounds. It's a turnover for Iowa. Maryland now with a chance to pull within 4 with a 2 and within a possession with a 3-point basket. Poffenbarger, a 3, no. Rebounded by Journey Houston. We're a minute down in quarter number 4. Houston crosses half court and finds McCabe, who's off the mark with a 3-pointer. Offensive rebound, Stalky, and she puts it up and in, plus the foul.
It's not what the Terps needed right there. As that miss by Poffenbarger.
It was actually Journey Houston on the putback. And now she'll go to the line for a chance for one more. Free throw no good, but an offensive rebound by Stalky. Iowa giving themselves yet another chance on the offensive end. Stalky dribbling inside now to McCabe. She'll now back down Poffenbarger. And Houston hits a free throw jumper. Iowa now up 10.
Iowa starting to pull away here, and that miss by Poffenbarger led to that outrunning transition by Stalky. And that's where we are now at 52-42.
Walker fakes the 3, drives inside, has it knocked loose, puts it up with the right hand, left it short, and the rebound by Taylor McCabe. Maryland now in some trouble here. Down 10, Iowa with the ball. Chit-chat right dances inside. The pump fake, and the layup is good. Hannah Stalky having a big game. She has a double-double. Give her 10 and 10, and it's a timeout from the Terrapins. Brenda Freeze not happy with the start of this fourth quarter. Maryland trails by 12.
Yeah, it's not what Coach Freeze and the Terps wanted here in the fourth quarter, but she's just going to have to find a way to get back into this one. Trailing by 12. Late stages here in the game. 8 minutes left in the fourth.
Stalky leads the Big Ten in rebounds per game, was a Naismith Trophy preseason Player of the Year watch list player, and she has been integral to the Hawkeye success today. We'll head to a short break. The Iowa Hawkeyes lead the Maryland Terrapins 54-42 in the closing 8 minutes of this fourth quarter. On WMUC Sports, we'll go to a short break. Back here in quarter number 4, with the Maryland Terrapins trailing 54-42. They have possession. They need a bucket here to get back in it, and we'll get a foul on Addie Deal outside of the arc. Maryland will take it inside out of bounds. Iowa with a lightning fast 6-0 run. A few minutes into this fourth quarter, Maryland looking to break some of the momentum out of the timeout. Kendall Walker finds Addie Mack. Ozzy Mamadou with the left hand, spinning off Hannah Stalky for an easy 2-point basket.
That's a good finish there by Mamadou.
Chad Wright harassed, gets it away from a double team. Feuerbach swings it back to Wright. Wright guarded closely by Okanawa. The screen by Houston, and now inside to Stalky. Stalky now with 6 on the shot clock. She's fouled by Ozzy Mamadou.
Maryland foul number 9, Izzy Ozzy Mamadou. That's her 4th personal, 2nd team foul.
Maryland in some foul trouble late in this one. Ozzy Mamadou and Garzone both with 4 fouls. And Garzone now will check back in. You're at the point down 10. There's no point in saving her for the bench. You need Garzone on to hopefully spark some 3-point offense. Something the Terps have lacked today. They're just 2 for 13. As Stalky makes the first one. Stalky makes both, and now Iowa up 12. The lead continuing to grow in Maryland. As Iowa's gone hot to start this fourth quarter while Maryland has gone cold. Garzone scanning, asking for the screen from Mira McLean. Takes a deep right wing 3, and it's no good. The rebound by O'Connor, 6th offensive rebound of the day. Goes back up and it rims out, but she gets the foul.
That's what the Terps need. There's a good play there by Okanawa as she outstretches her arms to get that rebound, which leads to the foul.
It's actually Okanawa's 7th offensive rebound of the day. She's got 10 total. Has scored just 1 point so far. And that free throw off back iron and no good. Okanawa 0 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. An uncharacteristic shooting day. Okanawa misses both. She's now just 1 for 4 in the day from the line now. And she commits the foul, going for the rebound attempt, reaching over the back. And Maryland also now in foul trouble as a team. They've already fouled Iowa 3 times here with just 6:45 left in this third quarter. Wright gets it up to Addie Deal on the baseline. Deal. The layup is no good. Ball tipped around underneath. Ball still on the floor, fought for and possessed by Jeremy Houston, who gets it out to Chit-Chat Wright for a reset. Wright dances and now kicks out to Feuerbach. Feuerbach working inside with the right hand, finds Stalky on the cut, and Stalky leaves it short. Rebounded by Mira McLean. And Maryland now has to push the pace. They go with McLean. Addie Mack underneath, puts it up high off the glass, no good. O'Connell with the rebound, and before the shot, she was fouled on the floor. Maryland retains possession with 6:10 left in this fourth quarter. They will inbound from underneath. Addie Mack and Poffenbarger still both scoreless for the Terrapins. It has been a rough offensive outing team-wide, and that's putting it lightly. The foul on the floor in the bucket is no good. The screen by Mira McLean was blown up as Garzone put her three-point shot up. The basket would have gone, but even with it not, Iowa's already fouled 5 times and Maryland will go to the line for 2. Mira McLean will be the shooter. McLean, the first free throw is long. So Maryland, even when they're getting to the line, unable to cash in. as McLean will sink her second shot. Maryland trails by 11. Wright crosses half court and is picked up by O'Connell on the right wing. Inside the journey, Houston takes a jumper from beyond the free throw line, and Garzone, a foul on the floor on Hannah Stalky. That will be number 5. And Garzone will be done for the day.
Maryland foul number 12, Yarden Garzone. That's her 5th personal, 4th team foul.
Very
Returning for Maryland, Sailor.
unaccustomed to seeing this from the Terps, especially 5 fouls on Garzone as her day is done.
Maryland trying to hold Stalky down as both the figure of speech and physically. She drew that 5th foul on Garzone as Taylor Stremlow just walks right to the basket for the easy right-handed layup, and Iowa extends their lead to 13. It's their largest lead of the day. Addie Mack, handoff to O'Connell with a mid-range push shot, and O'Connell finally has made a shot from the field tonight. McCabe on the far side wing gives it off to Chit Chat Wright straight away. Pass it off to Stremlow, who's looking for the pin down to Houston inside, didn't have it, so she gives it to Stalky. Prancing around the free throw stripe. And now Wright resets at the top. The turbo move inside, now the kick out to the near corner, and it toilet bowls down and in for Taylor Stremlow. Iowa back to their biggest lead of the day at 14. Mir McLean out to the corner. Addie Mack, they'll call an offensive foul on Mir McLean.
Yeah, things are starting to fall apart for the Terps, and it's unfortunate because they came to this contest so confident and high hopes after coming off that tough loss to UCLA, and hopefully they'll find a way to get back into it just under 5 minutes to play here.
Maryland now ramping up the backcourt pressure. Stremlow gives it off to Chit Chat Wright. She's had a solid day so far. She has 9. Journey Houston, the pump fake, discards Mir McLean, but an offensive foul. Feels like we've seen a lot of offensive fouls today. A lot of aggressiveness between these two Big Ten teams. Ava Hayden will check in for Journey Houston. Hayden had some run on the bench with 4 fouls, but now back in the game in the closing minutes. Kendall Walker leaves a mid-range jumper short, but an offensive rebound. O'Connell passed it off to Walker, who was not ready for it. Hit right off her chest and bounced out of bounds by the scores table. Iowa will have possession and things starting to unravel for the Terrapins.
Yeah, Maryland now trailing by 14, just under 5 to play. This rate, you just got to get one basket after the other.
Inbound to Stalky, and she gives it right back to Stremlow. Stremlow discards McLean, Walker trying to draw yet another offensive foul. The kick out to Walker for a 3 is no good, but an offensive rebound again for the Hawkeyes. Reload 3 from McCabe, and it's good! Iowa is on fire, and they lead by 17. It's a 6-0 run in the last minute, and Maryland is in trouble here on their home court. Walker inside to Ozzy Mamadou. The left hand is good.
I mean, the Terps are doing everything they can defensively down low, but their post player, Stalky, is just running through the Terps and causing a lot of problems.
Wright splits the double team off to Stremlow. McCabe now gives it back to Wright. And now back to McCabe. Stremlow takes a look from straight away. She'll pick up her dribble and off to McCabe. Nearly stolen by Addie Mack. Right now dumps it off for Hayden. Hayden with the easy right-handed layup. Maryland with just 3:05 left in quarter number 4 They'll get it back to Ozzy Mamadou for yet another paint touch. She spins off Hayden and leaves it short. Gets her own rebound. Kicks it out to Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger's three rims out. Addie Mack a rebound. She goes up with the left hand, and it's good, plus the foul. So Maryland not done yet, but they trail by 15 with 2:54 left.
Something to look forward to down the stretch for Maryland. If anything they can take away from this game is they're getting them those and one opportunities.
Addie Mack sinks the free throw, her first points of the day, and it's thrown off the inbounds. O'Connell puts it up and is fouled.
Iowa foul number 1, Taylor Strimlow. That's her
Terps
first
will
personal.
head back to the line. Catch a break there.
Maryland usually a solid shooting free throw team, 77.3% on the season, but they're just 71.4% from the line today. Now O'Connell with some big free throws. If Maryland wants any chance in this one, she sinks the first. O'Connell sinks the pair, and Maryland now down 12. They need to continue to force some turnovers. Chit Chat Wright will inbound. Wright goes into Stalky. She's quickly picked up by Walker, and they get it across half court. McCabe harassed by Addie Mack. She'll give it away to Stremlow. Stremlow scanning inside, stolen away. Poffenbarger now going the other way. Poffenbarger will slow it down now. Give it out to Walker on the perimeter. Poffenbarger, a right wing three, and it's good! Maryland back within single digits, and they are not done yet.
That's exactly what this Terp team needed.
An 8-0 run over the last 40 seconds. Clock continues to tick down, 2:10 left in the game. Hayden puts it up and responds, and Iowa back to a double-digit lead. Maryland's got to work it quickly. Kendall Walker, dribble penetration inside, spins off, discards her defender McCabe, and puts up the right-handed layup. Inbounds pass goes to Chit Chat Wright. Iowa breaks the press fairly easily. Stremlow now gives it to McCabe on the left wing. Iowa will pull it back out and slow it down, try and milk as much of that shot clock as possible. We'll get a jump ball. It'll stay with the Hawkeyes. This is probably one of the final possessions where Maryland can afford to play it out. But after this, it may be a game of foul shooting. And Maryland will call a timeout to talk it over before the Hawkeye inbound. Both teams, 3 of their last 3 from the field. Maryland trails 68-59 here late in this fourth quarter. 1:37 left on the clock. We'll take a short break here on WMUC Sports Radio. Back here after the 30-second timeout, it'll be Kylie Feuerbach to inbound. She finds Stalky. Finds Feuerbach back again in the corner. They'll reset the Chit Chat right up top. Right, guarded closely by Walker, 10 on the shot clock. Walker pulls it out off the screen by Hayden. Right, draws the double team. Gives it off to Feuerbach. Trapped in the paint. Stalky's got to get up a jumper, and it's no good. It'll be a shot clock violation. She caught no iron. And Maryland will have possession.
Maryland has life. Trailing by 9 here with just over a minute to play.
Walker's got to make quick work. She'll get a Poffenbarger screen up top. The screen and roll. Poffenbarger, step back three-pointer. It's good! Maryland within 5. Within 6. It's 68-62.
Sorry to cut you off there, Nick. That's what that's what Sailor Poffenbarger does best. She finds her way to get the three-point shot off, and she nails it. It's exactly what Terps need. Just trailing by 6 here. Leaves head coach Jan Jansen no option for the Hawkeyes but to call a timeout, and now it's on them to put something together to stop this full court press from Maryland. Maryland is coming out firing late here.
Poffenbarger was long quiet tonight, but 2 clutch threes here in quarter number 4 has Maryland back within 6. Just under 59 seconds to go. And Cam, what's your strategy for the Terrapins now setting up on defense?
I mean, defense, they have to go full court press, and they have to be aware of Stolke down low. That's the main thing. And then they also have to stop their post players as well. They have to stop Wright and Hayden. Hayden with 16 today. If she gets down low, she gets a good look. A couple more shots for Iowa. This one is out of reach. So Maryland has to play it well defensively, especially down low in the paint.
Stolke, not a great free throw shooter. We'll see if Maryland tries to potentially put her on the line. If she gets a touch, she will be the inbounder here. Perhaps Iowa trying to get the Chit-Chat Wright, who's shooting over 90% on the season from the line. They get it into Feuerbach, who is fouled quickly by Addie Mack. Feuerbach, not the girl you want to foul, an 86.7% shooter from the line. And Maryland, that was their 5th foul, and to the line Feuerbach is. Sinks the first one. Feuerbach quickly up with free throw number 2, and calm, cool, and collected is Feuerbach. She sinks the pair. Iowa up 8. Walker needs to get the Terps into their offense quickly. Spinning in the paint. Walker looking for a cut. Finds Okanawa, who gets fouled. Maryland was dangerously close to turning it over there. Walker had been camped in that paint for a little while. Jan Jensen in the Iowa bench was calling for a 3-second violation, but to no avail. Okanawa will shoot from the line. After starting 1 for 4, she sunk her last 2, and 2 more big free throws here to keep Maryland in it. Okanawa sinks the first. Just a tick under 45 seconds remaining. Okanawa lines up free throw number 2, and it's good. Iowa will get a timeout to set up their press break. Maryland likely to foul pretty instantly upon the inbound. Maybe you go for a trap and foul, but Maryland needs to force Iowa to the line, and the Hawkeyes trying to do whatever they can to get it in their hands of their best free throw shooters. 70-64 here in late 4th quarter. I'm Nick Polinsky, joined by Cam Crossett and Aubrey Wurst down on the sidelines. We've had a good one here. Maryland came into quarter number 4 down 9. Iowa extended it to a 17-point lead with 3:15 left to go. Maryland's brought it all the way back down to 6 in a span of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Iowa to inbound. They'll once again put Stolke, their worst free throw shooter, as the inbounder. She's scanning and now finds McCabe. They go for a trap with Poffenbarger. Maryland now has to foul. Chit-Chat Wright still dancing up top, and Poffenbarger gets the foul with 36.6 left on the clock. The Hawkeyes' best free throw shooter will go to the line for a pair. Misses the first. Right, third in the Big Ten in free throw percentage. Off the mark on her first. Right, lines up her second, and she sinks it. So the lead back to 7 for Iowa. Maryland once again needing to work quickly. Ozzy Mamadou limping down the court. Addie Mack works inside, the easy right hand, and now we'll get a stoppage of play. Looked like Ozzy Mamadou hurt her other knee earlier, favoring the left knee, now limping off, unable to put any weight on her right. Maryland now will get Mira McLean into the game, and we'll get Iowa once again taking a timeout. It'll be a full timeout here on the floor as they'll take some time to talk it over and set up an inbound play. 30.2 left in quarter number four of half number 2. And Iowa leads 71-66 here on WMUC Sports Radio. We'll take a short break and be back on the other side of the timeout. Back here with 30.2 left in quarter number 4. Iowa will inbound. Maryland needs a quick foul or a turnover. Skolky lost it on the inbound. Chichav right couldn't hold on to it. Walker up with the right hand and good. Maryland within 3. 25 ticks left.
Beautiful defense by Maryland. That's exactly
Stolen
what they need.
by Poffenberger on the inbound. She's fouled. Poffenberger will go to the line for 2. Maryland down 3. Skolky just tried to get it in, and Poffenberger just reached out that right hand and got a deflection, tipped it right to herself, and was fouled. They'll actually say that Okonawa got fouled.
Returning for Maryland, number 3.
They'll say Okonawa was the one fouled.
Shooting 2.
And it'll be Okonawa to shoot 2. She's made her last 4 free throws. Okonawa sinks the first. Second free throw coming for Oluchi Okonawa. Nearing double figures, and now with the second one, she has 9. The Terps down 1. 71-70, 22.6. Stolke running the baseline. Iowa with no timeout. They'll get a trap and an instant foul. It'll send Kylie Feuerbach to the line.
That's her second personal.
Unreal turn of events here late, Nick, and Maryland has just cut the lead to 1, and they've just had some plays go their way.
Feuerbach sinks the first. Remember, she made 2 clutch free throws just a few minutes ago. Feuerbach sinks both once again. Maryland trails by 3. Walker working quickly up the court. Walker looks like she's looking for Poffenbarger, doesn't have it. Addie Mack pump fakes the three. Now Okanawa, left wing three. Good! It's good! Maryland ties it up at 73.
Wow.
No timeout for the Hawkeyes. Into Chit-Chat right. Right. Crosses half court. Tipped away by Poffenbarger. Iowa will inbound with 2 seconds remaining. We're all knotted up. What a shot by Oluchi Okanawa. Maryland lacking all day from the field. They're 7 for their last 7.
Okanawa with ice in her veins, nails it. Tie game, 2 seconds to play. We got a good one, Nick.
Feuerbach will inbound. Feuerbach has got to get it in. Gets it into right. And she's blocked by Kendall Walker. We have overtime. Maryland trailed by 17 with 3:15 remaining. They come all the way back. And we're headed for free basketball here at the Xfinity Center. What a comeback. Improbable.
I mean, Maryland they had their foot on the gas the last 3:50, and they just went full, committed to tie this one up, and that's exactly what they did. And we got a great game here, heading to OT. We'll head down to Aubrey Wurst right now on the sideline, who has more.
Thanks, Cam. Wow, that was a really exciting quarter for the Terps. Fans here in Xfinity Center were going crazy for the team. With 20 seconds, the score sat 70-71, but a foul by Addie Mack allowed the Hawkeyes to take 2 free throws, landing both. The Terps then responded hard with a 3-pointer to make the score 73-73 with 2 on the clock. And Terp fans, we head into overtime. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. Maryland had struggled all day from range. And then inside those last 3 minutes, they were 7 for 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Poffenbarger had 2 big threes. Okanawa obviously with a 3-point shot to tie it. And we are headed to overtime. Incredible comeback, and we've talked a lot about Maryland, but what a collapse from Iowa. Multiple turnovers in the last 3 minutes, and just an absolute disaster for Jan Jensen and her squad.
I mean, if you're Coach Jensen and Iowa, I mean, like you said, an epic collapse, but if you're up by 17 with almost 4 to play, I mean, you've got to close it out, and that's not what they did. They let the Terps get back into this little by little, and then all of a sudden the Terps just went on a run, and it was capped off by that 3-pointer by Oluchi Okanawa with 9 seconds left. She spotted up from just beyond the arc and absolutely drained it, and that's where we are right now. We're tied at 73, heading in OT.
Izzy Mamadou back out in the court for this overtime period. She looks to be walking a little gingerly, but back out there regardless. Something to watch during this overtime period. Okanawa and Mamadou both with 4 fouls on the Terp side. Hayden with 4 fouls on the Iowa side. And we will set up for 5 more minutes. It'll be Poffenbarger and Hayden in the center circle for the tip-off. And here we go with overtime here in College Park. Maryland wins the tip. Out to Kendall Walker. Walker crosses half court. Maryland with what feels like all the momentum. We'll see if they can continue it through even after the short break into overtime. Okanawa up top, pump fakes a 3, works inside the left hand, and it's good! What a finish from Okanawa! She has a double-double.
Beautiful finish by Okanawa. Goes inside, outside, finishes it off inside. Beautiful display underneath the basket there.
Feuerbach up top, picks up her dribble, guarded closely by Okanawa. She dumps it off to Hayden. Hayden scans and now leaves it for Chit-Chat right. Right, off the Hayden screen, sinks a mid-range 2-pointer. So the Terps and Hawkeyes go back and forth with each other to start this overtime period. And now Poffenbarger penetrates inside. She's hacked and goes down hard. Kylie Fierbach swiped in hard on Poffenbarger, and she hit the deck, and you can hear a pin drop here in the Xfinity Center. Poffenbarger's still down.
It's a hard fall on the court by Poffenbarger, and just hope she's all right as she comes to her feet now. As this crowd erupts, it's good to see. It was a hard fall.
You could hear that from up here. Poffenbarger will limp past the free throw line, taking a few extra steps to try and hopefully loosen up before she has 2 clutch free throws. Poffenbarger yet to take a shot from the stripe today, but she sinks her first. Poffenbarger, a 75% shooter from the stripe. A big second free throw coming, and it's too long. Rebound tipped around, and on the floor, Maryland gains possession back. Addie Mack will now settle it down, and Poffenbarger pump fakes, now steps back on Chit-Chat right. Dumps it off to Okanawa on the handoff. Okanawa spins off the glass, and it spins around, no good. And Okanawa foul underneath the basket, and it'll set Iowa to shoot 2 free throws. Another body hitting the ground hard. This time it was Chit-Chat right. And Wright, an over 90% free throw shooter, will go to the line. .338 left in this overtime period. Maryland leads 76-75. There'll be 2 free throws for Wright, who sinks the first. And now a chance to vault Iowa back into the lead. Wright, a big second free throw, and it is good. Walker takes the inbound, crosses the midcourt line. Walker a touch now for McLean. Looks for Poffenbarger and has her on the left wing. Poffenbarger throws it away. McLean able to save it on the far side, but Stolke right there to grab McLean's save attempt. A big turnover for the Terrapins, and now Iowa's set up well. Kylie Fierbach will dribble and find Hayden inside, guarded by Ozzy Mamadou, and well defended in the paint. Leads to a shot off the bottom of the backboard, and now Maryland pushing. Addie Mack dances off to Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger, a mid-range look, and now she gives it off to Mira McLean. Addie Mack for 3, no good. Right will possess for the Hawkeyes and looks to put some points on the board. Hayden left alone in the mid-range. She'll give it off to McCabe. Always have to watch McCabe on the perimeter. She's been quiet for a while. Right now, off the Hayden screen. Right, zigzags, dishes to Hayden. The left hand is good. Some pretty 2-man action from the Hawkeyes, and they are back up 3.
Beautiful finish by Iowa.
Walker off the pin down screen from Ozzy Mamadou. Fades away and no good. And the rebound by Hayden. A big possession now for the Hawkeyes. A chance to stretch this one to back to a 2-possession game. We're now inside of 2 minutes. Chit-Chat right. Dances, zigzags. Gives it off to Stalky, excuse me. Out for 3. McCabe off the mark. Right back out to McCabe. The rim wasn't hit. No shot clock reset. 5 now on the clock. Ticking down. 4. Chit-Chat Wright's got to get a shot up. In the mid-range. Fading and no. Rebound Ozzy Mamadou. Bodies hitting the deck. 4-on-4. Ozzy Mamadou and Stalky behind the play. And now we'll get a timeout from Brenda Freeze looking to slow things down after a chaotic Iowa offensive possession. 1:29 left on the clock. Maryland trails 79-76.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Maryland just one three-pointer away from tying things up, but has a great all-around play there by the Hawkeyes. That last possession. Maryland with an unreal comeback in the fourth quarter leads us to overtime, where Maryland just has to find a way to put the ball in the basket, play good defense down the stretch. Just under 90 seconds to play here.
Maryland, after carrying all that momentum through the last 3 minutes and change of the fourth quarter, has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They do have possession out of the timeout, and won't say you need a bucket, but you don't want to give Iowa a chance to go make it a two-possession game inside of a minute. So a big spot for Maryland, and the inbound goes to Kendall Walker. They start their offensive action with Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger has it snatched away, saves it, now trapped in the corner, gets it out from Mir McLean. Kendall Walker now will settle. Addie Mack now looking for Ozzy Mamadou in the pin down. Mamadou spins the left hand, too much, and the rebound by Stolke. Wright now looking to slow it down. We're now inside a minute. Kylie Feuerbach guarded by Poffenbarger. Feuerbach looking for McCabe. She hits her. And now they'll reset to Wright beyond the three-point line. Contact, and they will whistle a foul on, I believe that's Kendall Walker. Yes, Walker commits the foul. Just some tough action there, trying to get around the screen of Hayden, and just went right through it. Hayden, not a great free throw shooter. She's a shade above 67% on the season. She'll have two big free throws here with 45.4 left in this overtime period. She sinks the first one. Iowa now a two-possession lead. Hayden sinks the pair. 81-76. Maryland looking to get into their offensive action quickly. Mack, Poffenbarger, a wide open left wing three, no! Poffenbarger hit a few big threes down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Iowa with no timeouts. They get it up court to Chit-Chat Wright. Now Maryland has to foul. 25 ticks left, and the time continuing to tick down. They get it inside to Stolke. Now Chit-Chat Wright. Maryland has to foul. They're running out of time. At this point, you'd consider playing it out, but they foul with 6 left on the shot clock and 13 on the game clock. A fairly poorly operated defensive possession for the Terps. Not sure what the point in fouling that late in the shot clock was. And plus, you now send Chit-Chat Wright, their best free throw shooter, to the line for 2. Wright sinks the first, and the Terrapins' magic slowly fizzling away here at the Xfinity Center. Wright to make it a 3-possession game. She does. And Maryland calls a timeout with 13 seconds left. It'll be a full timeout with Iowa leading 83-76. And Maryland, an incredible fourth quarter comeback, but Cam, it looks like it might not have been enough, and they couldn't quite carry it through this overtime period.
No, they could not. And Iowa, with an 8-0 run over the last 3.5, have kind of sealed the deal for the for the Hawkeyes, and they have such great post players, and they're using them to an advantage, and they're playing very good defense when the Terps have possession, and that's ultimately the difference maker here in overtime. Is, you know, Maryland, it was a great fourth quarter comeback, led us here to overtime, but just ran out of gas here late. You know, the game is not over, but, you know, they're down by 3 possessions, 13 seconds left. they're going to have a mountain to climb if they want to get back into this one and just running out of time.
Maryland used up all their shooting makes late in that fourth quarter, finished the fourth quarter 7 for 7. Now haven't scored since over 4 minutes left in the overtime period. They're 0 for their last 5 from the field. And it's a scoring drought that is likely to dry up any hope left Maryland had. It'll be Addie Mack to inbound, looking for a quick 2 inside to Ozzy Mamadou. Mamadou spins with the left hand and puts it in. And we will get a timeout now from Iowa. Iowa struggled to get the ball in late in that fourth quarter, trying to not let the same mistakes kill them here in this overtime period. It'll be just a 30-second timeout, as both teams will talk it over with 9.2 left.
Another big area that Iowa's capitalizing on is the Terps are without Alucci Okanawa, who went out with 5 fouls, and Iowa is capitalizing on that. They know how good of a shooter Okanawa is, and without her out there, the Terps, they have to go to their other players, and players that don't get a lot of playing time. Mir McLean, for example.
Credit to Kendall Walker, who really stepped up today. She's got 15 on 6 for 15 shooting from the field. Izzy Mamadou, a big game as well. She has 18. Iowa inbound from the front court. They get it into Stalky, and Maryland will foul with 6.8 left. Chit Chat Wright will go to the line for 2 more. Wright 5 for 6 from the charity stripe on the evening. And she sinks the first. Wright will put the dagger in the Maryland Terrapins with a second made free throw. The Terps trail now by 7. Time ticking down. Walker will take a long 2. She leaves it short. And after a near collapse, Iowa builds back up to steal one on the road in overtime. They take down the Maryland Terrapins 85-78, in which was a top 15 matchup that really lived up to the hype it promised.
Yeah, Nick, it exactly did. And this is Maryland's second home loss of conference play, and they already lost at home to Ohio State earlier in the month, and it's going to be a very, very tough pill to swallow for Brenda Freese and her staff and her team. And next up, they got Washington on Wednesday the 28th, but overall, Iowa has to be very pleased with what they did in overtime and just being able to capitalize off the mistake that Maryland made, and Okanawa not being there. Iowa has to be very pleased with what they do. They continue their conference stretch to 8-0, 17-2 overall. Iowa had the pieces in place, especially in overtime, and they got it done. But we're now going to send it to our sideline reporter, Aubrey Wurst, who has more.
Yeah, Cam, that was an unfortunate loss for the Terps, and in overtime, they did get on the board with 2 starting hot. Then Poffenbarger, a key player, hit the court hard with 3:58 on the clock, but got up and extended the lead by sinking one of her free throws. That ball was then taken back by Maryland, but ended in an Iowa free throw opportunity where they sank both, causing a 77-76 lead. This is where the Hawkeyes turned up the heat and Maryland fizzled out. Iowa then sank a layup to extend their lead to 3. The Terps fought hard in the last minute 30, but the Hawkeyes pulled away with an 85-78 win over the Terps. Make sure to tune in to WMUC Sports for everything Maryland. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Aubrey. Maryland will stay at home against Washington, and then again on the 31st against Oregon. The Hawkeyes will go back home against number 12 Ohio State, then head out to the West Coast for a 2-game road trip against USC and UCLA. For Aubrey Wurst and Cam Crossett, Here on WMUC Sports, I'm Nick Polinsky. The Terps fall 85-78 to number 10 ranked Iowa. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and have a good evening.